The internet has pointed out Keir's deadly move after Axel Ruda-Cabana's sentencing. In today's we will talk about all of this in the video while reviewing the most recent national news, but first, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and become a part of our rapidly expanding community. Just a quick note to let you know that we do have brand new OneCare t-shirts available on our website. Visit British.com or click the link in the description. Due to the terrible murder of 3 innocent girls at a Taylor Swift-themed dance class, Axel Ruda-Cabana was sentenced on Thursday to a minimum of 52 years in prison. His actions have caused a rift among political leaders and the general public over how justice should be administered for such horrible crimes. Despite public outcry and calls for a legal review, the current legislation, which is influenced by the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, prohibits life imprisonment without the possibility of release for offenders under the age of 18, as noted by the sentencing judge who expressed frustration at the limitations of the law. Cabana narrowly avoided a whole life order because he was 9 days shy of turning 18. Worker leader Keir Starmer threw the prospect of amending the legislation to include exceptions in situations such as these has been denied in a Downing Street statement, which also acknowledged public disapproval of Cabana's transgressions. The government's compliance with international regulations shielding minors from life sentences without the possibility of release was underlined in the statement. The spokesperson stated that, first and foremost, we share the public's disgust at these heinous crimes and our desire that this vile offender never again be on our streets. However, they added that we are limited by UN laws in our ability to grant whole life orders to individuals under the age of 18, something that the previous government acknowledged when it changed the law in this area previously on a specific point on whole life orders. The decision has drawn harsh criticism from people of all political stripes. A well-known Conservative MP named Robert Jenrich described the Starmer attitude as a diversion ploy, contending that the selective execution of international treaties is made possible by the UK's dualist legal system. Jenrich has encouraged the government to look at legislative reforms that would allow full life orders for minors under the age of 18 in some rare circumstances, along with other MPs and legal experts. Both former Public Prosecutor Lord MacDonald and Southport MP Patrick Hurley have echoed these calls for urgent reforms to ensure justice for victims of the most severe crimes. Victims' families have also expressed their displeasure, arguing that Ruda-Cabana's lack of regret and the seriousness of his acts justify the harshest punishment possible. Article 37 of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, which forbids life in prison without the possibility of parole for juveniles, is at the heart of the present discussion. Although the UK is obligated by this convention, critics contend that there should be exceptions granted in situations of severe brutality. In sharp contrast to the UK's strategy, the United States, which has not joined the agreement, still condemns young criminals to life in prison without the possibility of parole under specific conditions. Reformers contend that Ruda-Cabana's case is an obvious illustration of when exceptions should be made because of the seriousness of his offences, which included attacking young children in a planned attack and displaying no remorse. This has caused many to wonder if the existing system sufficiently discourages or punishes such behavior. Concurrent sentencing is another point of contention. Many people think that criminals who commit multiple murders, like Ruda-Cabana, should serve consecutive sentences to reflect the seriousness of each life taken. Critics counter that concurrent sentencing diminishes the value of each victim's life and does not provide justice to bereaved families. As public pressure grows, the government faces a crucial either pursue legislative amendments to meet unusual instances or uphold current laws based on international accords. Reformers contend that allowing horrible crimes would not compromise the more comprehensive safeguards for minors but would instead make it abundantly evident that society will not put up with such behavior. Although contentious, these arguments underscore the profound discontent that many people have with the current system's capacity to administer justice. This case has rekindled conversations about more extensive reforms to the legal system, including possible arguments about bringing back the death penalty for the most serious crimes. The controversy surrounding Ruda Cabana's sentence brings up significant issues regarding how to strike a balance between protecting young criminals and providing victims with justice. Should the law be changed to permit life sentences in certain exceptional circumstances, or does upholding international agreements outweigh the need for reform? Tell me in the comments what you think of Starmer's statement. In other news, Donald Trump has stated that he intends to call the Prime Minister within the next 24 hours after it was revealed. The Prime Minister had been waiting for days to speak with the newly appointed president. In the first few days of his administration, the 47th U.S. President had already contacted several world leaders, such as Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, El Salvadorian leader Nabeel, and Chinese President Xi Jinping, but not the British Prime Minister. Trump stated that they get along well despite the Labour leader's liberal views, which differs slightly from mine. The U.S. President went on to say that Starmer was a fine man and that, in terms of his mentality, he represented his nation. Even if I disagree with his worldview, I get along well with him. The Prime Minister's deputy official spokesman seemed to make a plea for Trump to call Starmer ahead of an anticipated visit to Washington on Friday. He stated that the Prime Minister would welcome the opportunity to speak to President Trump at the earliest opportunity and that they had a productive meeting in September and subsequent positive phone calls in recent months, and he looks forward to speaking with him soon. When asked if it was unusual that no phone call had taken place, the deputy of the newly elected president told reporters on Air Force One that his first foreign trip will be to Saudi Arabia, where he visited during his first term, or the United Kingdom. Traditionally, it may be the UK. He claimed that even though he visited Saudi Arabia during his final term because it had committed to purchase us for billions of dollars, merchandise, Trump stated, "I would do that again if that offer were correct." One of the most vocal opponents of Starmer and a major contributor to Trump's re-election and presidency thus far is Elon Musk, who has called for his replacement on numerous occasions. The U.S. President has also spoken to Jordan's King Abdullah on Saturday, where he urged the king to take more Palestinians from Gaza. "I said to him, I'd love you to take on more because I'm looking at the whole Gaza Strip right now and it's a mess, it's a real mess. I'd like him to take people." He also said he would like Egypt to take people from Gaza, adding he would speak to President Abdul Fattah Ali on Sunday. Trump called the Strip a demolition site, where people are dying, saying, "I'd rather get involved with some of the Arab nations and build housing at a different location where they can maybe live in peace for a change." He also confirmed he has fired 17 independent inspector generals at several government agencies. He said he would put good people in there that will be very good, while inspectors are appointed by the president. They are meant to be nonpartisan, and some have served presidents from to both parties. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comments section below. I want to quickly say thank you for all the recent support on the channel. We're growing really fast.